Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Tassos Kalimos. Happy to be joining you guys for another edition of NBA Player Prop Parlay right here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope your week is going well so far. If you watched yesterday's video, you know the week is going well for us to start because you know why? We cashed yesterday, and you know what that means. Money gun! That's right, baby. We were making money over here, guys. Another cash last night. That's 3 parlays in the last 8 days. We are up over 11 units since last Monday. More than 8 days, I guess. But over 11 units. We are doing very well right now. Now, to be fair, yesterday's player prop parlay was not the biggest hit of all time. The Anthony Davis prop got voided because he pussied out and didn't play. But the two legs that still remain hit. It ended up being a plus 185 parlay, so not like it's crazy money, but no matter what, hey, if you bet $1,000 on that, it's a nice payout. So, you know, overall, a win's a win. We get some more money added to the bankroll, and we carry that positive momentum coming into today. So, got a 3-leg parlay, and yeah, I'm keeping the money in the mic this time. Good vibes only. 3-leg parlay for tonight. Let's keep the good vibes rolling. Let's win some more cash here. I think you're going to like what I got for you guys. And apologies, guys, if I do sound different still. I am still a little sick. I'm getting better every single day. Thank you for all the well wishes. We are getting there, but I sound a little bitch-like, so apologies for that. But here we go. Without further ado, 3-leg parlay. First leg of today's 3-leg parlay, we are targeting the Sacramento Kings Miami Heat game. It kicks off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going with Terry Rozier, Scary Terry of the Miami Heat, over 19.5 points plus assists. All right, guys, let's go ahead and kick this over to the outlier screen. If you don't know what outlier is, if you've never watched our videos before, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Welcome to the Guy Boston Sports community. But even if you have been here before, let me explain it to you one more time. Outlier is the best sports betting tool on the market today. All the insight, all the data you could possibly need. And instead of giving you guys just a boring ad read and just telling you guys why you should get it, every video I show you guys why you should get it, all the data, everything that I'm going to show you in this video and all my player prop videos, they are here. I'm actually thinking about doing a video soon. Sound off in the comments what you think about this, of kind of giving you guys my routine of how I pick my props. Because what you see here, I give you the data, but I don't really give you like my process of how I select props. Maybe I'll do like a solo video, kind of like how Ev does, and kind of give you guys a behind the scene look how I go through my process of picking my props. Well, sound off if you guys would be interested in seeing that. But here we go. Again, link in the description below, 7-day free trial if you want to try out Outlier for yourself. First leg of our 3-leg parlay here, we got the Rozier prop. A little risky. Now, the tough part with this, with the data here, if you look at it from the season view, right, he's hit it in 79% of his games this season, 27 out of 34 games. The problem here is that the majority of these games, he was on a completely different team, a completely different circumstance here. Even last year, look at 2022, he had an 81% hit rate, 51 out of 63 games. But again, that's all with the Charlotte Hornets. We have to look at what he's doing now as a member of the Miami Heat. So if you look at the last 5 games, he's only played 4 games in Miami. You'll see here his first couple games, miss. And then his last game versus the Suns on January 29th, he got a hit. Just 2 days ago, he had 21 points and 3 assists. So yeah, in terms of raw data, guys, it's really tough for me to show you guys anything here because a lot of it doesn't apply anymore. He still could put up those numbers. I mean, that some of it does apply, but the reality is that's a different team. So why am I betting this with the Miami? Well, he's coming off a really good game with them last game. Again, he cashed this confidently last game, 21 points and 3 assists. I think that he is going to play a very big role in this Heat offense. I think those first couple games, a couple factors here. Number one, good defensive teams. You got Boston, you've got Miami, you've got Memphis, like solid defensive teams that play hard, that play with grit. And it's his first couple games with a new team, so it's going to take time for him to adjust. But you already saw versus Phoenix, he got a little more comfortable. You started to see him playing better. Why I like this prop today, guys. Look at the right side of the screen here. The Kings defense versus point guards. They are bottom 10 in points allowed, giving up 25 points per game to opposing point guards, and they are bottom 5 in assists allowed, giving up 9 assists per game, to opposing point guard. It's just a really solid defensive matchup here for Terrence, and he needs to get 20, a combined 20 points plus assists. He'll cover it probably mostly in scoring. I think with this defensive matchup in his 5th game now with Miami, I think he'll have a solid game. We're not asking him to have a crazy breakout game. We're asking him to, 15 points and 5 assists would cash this. So we're not asking too much of Terry Rozier. I think he'll be able to hit this. It's a really great defensive matchup. He is a solid player, and he gets his own when he plays. So that's the first leg of our 3-leg parlay. All right, guys, moving on to the second leg of our 3-leg parlay. We are targeting the Orlando Magic San Antonio Spurs game, which kicks off at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going with Jalen Suggs of the Orlando Magic over 11.5 points plus assists. Now, I'll be honest, guys, this is a great value prop here, and I'm kind of surprised. Just to let you guys know, because a lot of people I see in the comments, they always say, look, the lines change. The time that I'm betting right now when I'm making this video is at like 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So that means that I've already put these bets in. I locked these bets in like half an hour ago, so I'm putting it 9 a.m. The lines are going to change. Here's what I will say. This Jalen Suggs prop, I'd probably bet it up to like 13.5, to be totally honest. It's a solid spot. You look at the odds, -115, -115, -119, -119. Again, no FanDuel. If you watch my videos, you know FanDuel sucks. Get on DraftKings, get on Prize Picks, get on anything else. FanDuel sucks for player props. But the data's not great here, I will be honest. Well, not great for his last 10 games, I should say. His last 10 games, hit it in 5 of his last 10. He has hit it in each of his last 2. But on the season, you stretch this data out more, right? Stretch out to his last 20 games. 14 of his last 20 games is a 70% hit rate. And you stretch this out to the entire season. It's really good. 32 out of 43 games. 74% hit rate. Only 11 times in 43 games this year has he failed to cash this over of 11.5 points plus assists. And look at the head-to-head now. They have not played this year, but they played the last time he played San Antonio last March. He had 12 points and 1 assist, so he did cash this the last time. And I think his role was different with Orlando last year. He's definitely kind of come into his own more. He's a much better player this year than he was last year. You see last year in total, he hit it at a 53% hit rate. This year, he's hitting it at a 74. So overall, he's a much better player, I think, this season than last year. So that makes me a little more confident here. And again, like the Terry Rozier prop, the defensive matchup is fantastic. Overall, the Spurs bottom 4 in both points allowed and assists allowed in total to opposing teams. And you look at versus the shooting guard position, bottom 4 and bottom 3, giving up 29 points and 7 assists per game to opposing shooting guards. Solid defensive matchup. He's hitting it at a 74% hit rate this season. Let me tell you why. The only reason why I'm a little scared about this prop. Truthfully, the only reason I would be scared of this, and I think it's the reason why the odds are where they're at, is because this could be a blowout. And in the event of a blowout, how many minutes is Jalen Suggs really going to play? That's the question. But I have one thing to maybe ease your mind here. One of the cool features of Outlier is that you can put specific filters to go ahead and look and see certain scenarios. You want to see what the stats are like based off of like home games, away games, games when certain players are out hurt, games when they play a certain number of minutes. So right here, I put a filter in here for games that Jalen Suggs plays 27 minutes or less. Right, so these games don't show anything over 27 minutes played. And you look here, it's still solid. In 21 games this season, he played 27 minutes or less, 57% hit rate. So still pretty, not as strong, but pretty solid. You'll see here the number when he plays a little bit less minutes, he still hits it pretty consistently. So overall, I do like the prop. My big fear again would be he doesn't play enough minutes, but you got to expect he's going to play at least 25 minutes, around that. And I think we're still playing solid here. The defensive matchup versus the shooting guard position is just too good to pass up. And you look at the spread here, that's kind of always an indicator to look at is the spread to see what the line makers think this game's going to be. Orlando's only a 4.5 point favorite. San Antonio's actually been kind of a trap team lately. So this game is projected based off the odds to be kind of close. I expect Jalen Suggs to play out close to 30 minutes and he'll cash this pretty easily. All right, guys, third and final leg of today's parlay. Make sure to comment 9 if you made it this far in the video because we're about to hit the 9-minute mark. Comment 9 down below if you made it this far in the video. We're targeting the Bucks-Blazers game. It kicks off at 10 p.m. Eastern time. We're going with Brook Lopez of the Milwaukee Bucks over 19.5 points plus rebounds plus assist combo prop. Now, unlike the last 2, look at the last 10 games, a lot of green there. 9 of his last 10 games, he's cashed just 90% hit rate. And if you stretch that data to the last 20, it's still pretty good. 15 of his last 20 games, 75% hit rate. And if you really stretch that data to the entire season, you'll see it's a 62% hit rate, 29 out of 47 games. Not as impressive if you look at the entire season. You look early in the year, he just really wasn't putting up big numbers. Of late, he's really started, you see a lot more green there. He's really started to turn his season around a little bit more, which is obviously good for us. And if you look at the right side of the screen here, the defensive matchup, Portland, bottom half of the league in points allowed, bottom 6 in rebounds allowed, and bottom 8 in assists allowed in total. Versus the center position, they are bottom 10 in points allowed, bottom half in rebounds allowed, and they're actually not they're actually a pretty good defensive team in assists allowed, but let's be honest, he'll be covering this mostly in points and rebounds. When we look at the head-to-head matchup, these two teams did play once this year already back in November. He did miss it just barely. He had 10.6 rebounds and 3 assists, 19. Again, that was in the part of the season where, you know, he wasn't really doing too much. You want to go back and look at the season view. Let's go back to November. You'll see the Bucks game is right. The Portland game is right here. So it's still kind of in that early part of the season where he wasn't really on it yet. From this point on, though, you see the green. That's kind of where that 20-game stretch begins. So it's kind of in that part of the season where he hadn't quite figured out. He was coming off a couple of big performances here. But this was around the time where he was still not statistically in his hot streak. But overall, it's a solid defensive matchup. The only fear, it's kind of the same fear I have with the Jalen Suggs prop, is that against Portland, this game could get ugly pretty quickly. And how many minutes will Brook Lopez play in this game if it's a blowout? That's the only risk here, but I still, regardless, I love the prop here. The last time he played them, he just missed the mark. And let's see the minutes played. He played almost 32 minutes. They only won by 6 points, but he played 32 minutes. So I'm hoping Brook Lopez will cover this. I'm feeling pretty good about it. All right, guys, here's our 3-leg parlay ticket here. You look at it, plus 440 odds. Not half bad. You see here Brook Lopez, Jalen Suggs. Terry Rozier is the only one of these props that's not available on anything except for DraftKings. Stay DraftKings exclusive. FanDuel, 0 for 3. Again, I keep telling you guys, if you guys are on FanDuel for NBA player, not to shit on them. They're good for football. They're good for other things. But for NBA player props, they are the worst. But you look here, I mean, Caesars has 2 legs you can get. BetMGM, Prize Picks, Underdog, a couple different things. But DraftKings, of course, not sponsored. They are the best when it comes to player props. But there we go, guys. 3-leg parlay, plus 440 odds. Again, the only thing we really have to fear is blowouts. I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about that. I think we're sitting pretty here. We're carrying the positive momentum, the positive vibes. We got our money in the mic. We're feeling good, guys. That is it for me for today's video. Thank you very much, as always, guys, for all the love and support. We have been crushing it lately in viewership and likes and all that stuff. So keep it going. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, guys, I hope you're all winners.